Yeah. So fear is basically there to help us survive, right? So instinctively in the caveman days, fear was there to alert us to something that was going to potentially risk our life. Now, in modern day times, our brains are still the same brains we had back then. They've evolved some, but not fully. And so, a lot of fear we perceive to be a threat against our life. And so, we react because of how our brain is in a fight or flight mode. But in modern times, a lot of the fears that we face are not threatening our life or really even our well being. They are just, an email that upsets us or a close call sitting in traffic. And yeah, that could be dangerous. It could risk your life, but it didn't happen. And so it's understanding how the brain operates and how we can get ourselves back to what we call a parasympathetic state of mind so that we're not releasing all these terrible cortisol hormones through the system, which creates stress and a lot of physical damage. So let's say I have a close call in traffic. I can just do some breathing and recognize, hey, that was scary. My brain is freaking out right now. I'm starting to release cortisol. But instead of going down that and making it worse, I can just start breathing really deeply. I'm
Mm.
safe. I'm okay. I'm going to take the next 2 to 5 minutes to breathe until my heart rate slows down. And I'm just going to keep repeating in my head, I'm safe. Everything is okay. So it's reminding ourselves that that's the better way to cope with modern time fears.
Mm.
Now, that's a fear that's like not real, but we have fears where I lost my job and I need financial income, and that's a legitimate fear. Now, instead of letting that take you down a rabbit hole of worst case scenarios and storylines that have not occurred, there are steps that we can take practically to navigate that. So we're set up for success to get that next job to take care of those financial burdens. So that's just kind of high level why fear is there. And yeah, it motivates you because if you lost your job and you're supporting 4 kids at home, you're going to be very motivated to get another job because you need to support your family. But you can't let it take it to the point where it's actually causing physical harm because then you're not going to be successful navigating that.
Yeah, I just want to like just point out to the listeners as well that we did do an entire episode with Sarah, our CBT practitioner, who was on the show last season, and she did get a lot into the depths of fear. So she extended on the fight and flight as well. Apparently, there's 2 more that we don't know about, and she also spoke a lot about irrational fears and the psychological effects, the physiological effects of irrational fears like panic attacks and stuff. So there's a whole lot to unpack there. But definitely, I think that when we have a fear like losing our job or something like that, we can be motivated, use it as a motivator. Like I say, we need to tune in and be familiar with our emotions as much as we can. And if we can listen to them and if we can hear what they're saying to us, we can actually move in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Inside Out, but it's the Pixar film where the emotions are actual characters.
Yeah.
And if you look at the fear character, I like to tell clients and people I'm working with when fear shows up, sure, listen to fear. Fear is there to tell you, hey, there's a traffic light, you need to stop. Or, hey, there's this fork in the road and it could be dangerous. You need to be considering all these factors before making a choice. So it's more about having a logical conversation that's calm with fear and saying, okay, this is legitimate fear. And here's some of the things that I could do to navigate that. The
Mm.
problem is when people let fear take the steering wheels.